You
Oh,
ready? Oh,
I'm
she's
ready.
getting up.
No, I just moved it.
Okay. Well, we are live on Facebook, and today this is our last one for today. We've got a bunch more tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day. But anyway, this is Christie K. Moore, and she is running for City Council, and we are going to just visit and kind of get to know her. So I have a very hard question for you right off the bat. I want to know where you were born and raised.
I was born in Dallas, Texas, and I was raised in Dallas, Texas.
Ah,
That's an
okay.
easy one.
That is easy. And how many siblings do you have?
I have one younger brother.
Okay.
He turned 40 this year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's not
Yep,
too
that's it.
little.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what you do for a living. And would you please tell everyone? And then I have a question for you.
Absolutely. So I am a mortician. My background is actually in molecular biology and endocrinology. However, I've always known that I wanted to work in the funeral service industry. So I'm a mortician. I was licensed in 2005, and I own Mansfield Funeral Home right here in the great city of Mansfield, Texas.
Okay. And I want to know, how did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
That's a great question. So I knew when I was 9 that I wanted to be a mortician. I actually was with my family when my great grandmother passed.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very close to her. So she was diagnosed with colon cancer when I was about 7 years old. So I actually was able to see my family go through the anticipatory grief of one moment they're happy, next moment they're sad, depending on how her health was declining.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually there when she passed, and I saw the ambulance rush in to try to revive her. Then the next day we were at the funeral home, and I saw my family making arrangements. I actually ended up in the prep room by mistake. I made a wrong turn trying to get to the restroom,
Oh
and I stood
my.
there and watched them embalm her.
You did?
I did. I
Did
was
it?
9
It
years
didn't
old.
wig you out?
It did not. I just had this calming feeling over me throughout the entire process. And then about 3 days later, we had the funeral. So I saw her on the table going through the embalming process. And then when I saw her in the casket, and she was beautiful, and she had the makeup and her hair, I hadn't seen my Lolo that beautiful in years, because with colon cancer, it kind of breaks your body down. And just to see her in the casket and to see her so beautiful. And then when we got to the cemetery, the mortician made the speech and just comforted my family. There were men in my family I'd never seen cry before. So I'm standing there as a 9-year-old seeing these strong men crying, and then their tears drying up just from the speech from the mortician. And when they were burying Lolo, I asked my dad, "What is that person called?" And he said, "A mortician." And literally, as her body was being buried into the ground, I now know, then I didn't know,
Mm.
but I felt like it was the Holy Spirit coming inside of me, telling me, this is what you're going to do.
That gives me goosebumps to hear that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
So
It's a
your
ministry.
journey, I'm sorry.
It's a ministry for me. This is not a job.
Yeah.
I have the privilege of touching people's lives every day. So I'm very blessed.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Um, so I mean, you have got, I mean, that your educational background and then what you do, you are you are smart.
Thank
But
you.
I want you to tell me how you would describe yourself. How would you describe yourself?
Thank you. I am a person, I I have very deep compassion for people. And that compassion comes from every day I'm dealing with some aspect of a person's thought process, whether they're starting a process of grief, in the middle of it. And we all know that, we have the DABDA, we've heard of that: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. And I deal with that 10 to 20 times a day with different people. So I'm the type of person, I will understand where people are. I will explain to them where they need to be, and I get them there. So I am the type of person that knows how to get people to where they need to be emotionally so that they can make sound business decisions.
Kind of like a guide.
I am definitely a guide. My
Yeah.
mom calls me a guide. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
good.
exactly, that's what that is.
I'm
That's what you
emotional business guide. Because
guide.
my thing is people should not make any type of business decisions when they are emotional.
Right.
And we all know the most emotional we will probably ever be when we're planning our child or husband or
Mhm.
mother or father's service. So I make sure that my families are steadfast in their thought process before I even talk about business.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wow. Like, I don't even know where to go next after all of that.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let me ask you this. If you could do just one thing over the weekend, what would you do?
You know, my favorite thing over the weekend is outside of spending time with my family. If I'm just taking care of Christie, I love massages. That's either my feet or I'm going to,
A
Dr.
spa?
Petrie. Yeah, Dr. Petrie is excellent helping me with that. Or I'm going to a spa, but I'm all about self-care.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about dealing with grief on a daily basis, I have to be very careful not to take that home.
Mm-hmm.
And so self-care is so important. So I have to make sure that my mind is clear, that my thoughts are clear, so that I can continue on with life outside of the funeral home.
Yeah, because I can imagine just protecting your own energy, because that type of energy around you, if you're not careful, yeah, it just kind of like it attaches to you. So
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
it
I
can.
understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
So obviously your grandmother made an impact on your life. I
Yeah.
mean, huge. But
Hmm.
who else has made an impact on your life?
So that was my great grandmother. I was fortunate enough to have 5 generations alive up until about 10 years ago. And then all of a sudden everyone just started to just started to go
Oh,
away. So I would definitely say the elders in my family that, my parents on back have been very influential. As far as business people, a major person that has helped me is the wonderful James Sellers right here at Cellmark. He is my
mhm.
business mentor. He's been amazing. A lot of people in the funeral service industry that have taken me under their wings. I've been doing this 23 years. I was actually a mortuary professor. And so I've come in contact with a lot of people, and they have really poured into me their mistakes, their successes, and they've really helped me to see through their lenses what I should or should not do. And that's why I can say I've been so successful. I mean, I was #1 in Texas for 2018, 19, and then now we're #1 for 2020. So
Wow.
yeah,
Ah, I told you he was smart. Okay.
thank you.
So, what is your favorite book or movie of all time?
Great question. So my favorite book would be Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hmm.
That's an
Um,
excellent one.
yes, that's my favorite book. Now I'm really big on meditation. Another book that really, really has helped me through some difficult times is
Mhm.
Jesus Calling. It's
Hmm.
the daily devotional, and you are to read it every day. It has 365 devotions in it.
Mhm.
And I can tell you every year when I turn the page to read the new devotion for that day, which is what I do every morning,
Mhm.
it somehow applies to exactly what I'm going through that day. And
Wow.
I'm able to continue to read it throughout the day. I hold it in my spirit when I'm talking to people. I'm able to really, really resonate with those devotions. So I would say those 2 books.
Okay. What is your most prized possession?
Mm, let's see. My most prized possession. I'm not a really materialistic person. That's a great question, Lori.
Or let me say, okay, let me do it another way.
Okay.
If I was going to take something away from you, and you would, your immediate reaction was, no, I need that. Don't
I
take
need
that. What do you use every day that you have to have? Your phone. Yeah, that's all of us, right?
You know what? Because this is my lifeline to all of my families. Every single family I've ever served has my personal cell phone number. I have families from 3-4 years ago that say, "Hey, I was thinking about you. Hey, how are you doing?" They'll shoot me a text. I actually sleep with my phone underneath my pillow because I have to. So I would say that's my most valuable possession. That and my Bible.
Okay.
My Bible is very valuable. I still have a physical Bible. I don't rely on the Bible apps. I keep the old school thumbing through with the highlighting. I'm old school when it comes to Bibles.
Okay, so now I have my last question for you is this.
Okay.
Why are you running for city council?
That's the question of the century, right?
I know, yeah.
You know what? I am running for city council because I believe in the future of Mansfield. I live, work, and play here. I love this city. And, you know, being a part of city council is just like running a company, right? And the thought processes and the decisions that I would have to make as city council, I make those decisions every day as CEO of my company. And I know that I would be successful because I believe in integrity. I believe in transparency. And I know that also being accessible to the citizens of Mansfield would help myself and the other 6 people on the council and the mayor to take the city to the next level. So why not me? I'm very successful in what I do. I have proven business strategies. And I know that with my compassion for people, my ability to make smart business decisions, and to be able to meet people where they are, understand their concerns, do the research that I need to do to make sound business decisions, I can then vote for what's best for the city and not anything less than that. Always what's best for the citizens of Mansfield. I'm that person.
Okay. Now I want you to leave me with your creed or your motto.
Yes. So my motto is, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got. You have got to always be willing to pivot when things are not looking the way that you need them to look. You always have to be the one to say, if you see there's something needs to be done, do something about it. Just sitting back and just saying, hey, I'm gonna let somebody else do it, that's not the answer. We are the change. We have kids behind us that are hoping and praying. They don't know it yet, but their adult selves are praying that we do what's best for them. That's why I started a youth initiative for government, so that our kids can understand that when we step aside and when we retire and we're, up in age, they're ready to take on the mantle. So that's all I care about. That's my motto.
That's excellent. We're going to leave it on that. That's a good note to leave it on. I want to thank you so much for participating. I look forward to the candidate forums and our luncheon that we've got coming up. So thank you. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
Towards you? Yes. Lori, I just want to tell you, you embraced myself and my former business partner when we first opened up in 2016. And every time I see you out in the community, you always have a warm spirit. I just want to tell you, great job on your job with the Chamber of Commerce, especially with COVID. I know you had to pivot. I know you had to figure things out. Let me tell you, you have not skipped a beat. I appreciate you, and I wish you continued success in the future.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.